Hello, Mr. Trask here once more. This is a follow-up to my previous tutorial concerning Python and for loops. I just want to explain the range function a little more. So here we go. So the first thing to note is that in Python 3, the range function works slightly differently to Python 2. So if I was to go, for example, range 0 to 5. Python spits back at me. It doesn't give me an error message, but it just says thank you very much, range 0 to 5. If I want to see what's inside this, I would go list range 0 to 5, and it actually shows me, it lists out what the contents are of the range 0 to 5, and it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me explain this. Essentially, range 0 to 5 creates something called an iterator, and the iterator starts with the beginning value, in this case it's 0, and it goes along each time in a kind of tiny little loop of its own. So it goes, alright, the value at the moment is 0, and then it goes along, then it goes back again, it goes, okay, now it's 1, now it's 2, now it's 3, now it's 4, and when it gets to 5, it stops. But slightly confusingly, Python tends not to like to include the final element of the number. So if you say 0 to 5, it'll include 0 but 4. And by the way, the range works in integers. It works in whole numbers. Python 2, of course, if you typed this in, then you would get a nice list. But in Python 3, you need to type in the word list. Let me explain this a little bit more. So again, if I go list range 0 to 18. Okay, remember the double bracket. I'm listing every value within that little range, and it does it super quickly, from 0 all the way up to 17. You can see the square brackets show that you're using a list. Okay, all well and good. You can also slightly mess with it, so you could go list range, and we could go something like 12 to 22. If I did that, it would commence at 12, and it would go up all the way along in whole numbers and integers until it hits 21, and then it would stop. Okay, so let's do another one. List range here. In this case, let's say 0 to 100. Why not? Okay, a couple of brackets there. And it goes all the way along. Very nice. Okay, you can even mess with it in the sense that you can actually add an extra element, which is how many steps it goes up by. So at the moment, it's fairly conventional. It goes up in whole numbers, in integers of 1. But you can alter that. So you could go list range. We go 10 to 30 in steps of 2. If you do that, it will go good 10, 12, 14, 16, and so on up to 28, because that's a step prior to 30 if you do it in integers of 2. Okay. Similarly, you could go list range 0 to 350 in steps of 5. No idea what this will do. Well, there you go. So it goes up in 5s all the way up to 3, 4, 5, which is the last integer before 350. So it's a fairly powerful thing, the range function. Of course, what we can do is we can now use this in a for loop, which is what we're going to come to in the next section. One thing I will say is sometimes people have a tendency to print the list. So I could go print list in the range 10 to 20. Which pretty much does the same thing as the one up here. So it prints out all the integers in between 10 and 20. It doesn't do a whole lot different to the list range up there, because we're in Python 3. But if you're using Python 2, that will be quite a useful thing to have. Okay, thank you.